All right, peace, black family. So the new buzzword on social media is black fatigue. Now, I'm not even going to get into the historical aspect of it or the literary part of it. I am just going to go into the framework of our late great ancestor, Neely Fuller Jr. And one of the things that Neely Fuller Jr. says is, all problems are solved through questions and answers. And one of the problems that people, black and white, are saying they are experiencing is this so-called black fatigue, being tired of uncouth, uneducated, uncivilized, however you want to pronounce it, black people. They're tired of those type of black people. Now, since we have identified the problem, as Neely Fuller says, now we should ask the question, what should be done with those black people that we have this particular issue with? What should be done with them? Because we identified the problem. Now, the problem is black fatigue. What should be done with them? Now, some people might say, well, we have to re-educate them. What if education doesn't work? What do we do with them then? Then some people might say, well, maybe we should continue to incarcerate them. Well, isn't that still a burden on society? What if incarcerating them doesn't work? That's going to make taxpayers pay a lot of money to house and clothe them and feed them. So the question still remains, what should be done with that so-called burden of society? The point that Neely Fuller is getting at when he says that all problems are solved through questions and answers is that by continuously answering questions, you then force the suspected white supremacists and their flunkies to show their hand, to say, what are you going to do with us? What plans do you have in mind for us? You then force them to say what it is. Because if you continually ask questions, you're gonna find an answer that you're looking for. And then through compensatory logic, you now should know how you move around people who think like this. And as Neely Fuller says, as you ask these questions, don't interrupt them. Allow them to answer the questions in full. And make sure you have your next question lined up. And you're taking notes. You're taking notes about their thinking. Because their thinking will ultimately lead to their doing. And that's what you want to know. What do you plan on doing with this so-called population of black people? If not, you're just complaining all day. All right, you're just complaining and complaining. What do you plan on doing with that said group of black people? And continuously ask questions and continuously ask questions and ask questions until you get the answer that you're looking for. In conclusion, Neely Fuller's framework around questions and answers can be used in all forms of life form. It can be used on your job. It can be used in relationships. It can be used in any way possible. Just ask the question, allow them to answer, and have your follow-up question in line. That's it. And then from the questions and answers, you determine how you move around that person or that situation. For more context, more details, go type in Neely Fuller Jr. on YouTube. Watch his videos. He is very profound. And then also order the books. You know, RIP to this great legend and great thinker. And the question still remains, what do we do with the people who are so-called causing black fatigue?